Hello and welcome back to the channel of Car Nonsense. Now today is something slightly different to usual. I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on what I'm doing with the channel, what my plans are for the future, and also to introduce you to the newest member of my family. It's not actually that new. I've had it for 3 months or a quarter of a year. It's the Skoda Octavia vRS that I'm walking very slowly towards, and I've started this video far too far away, so I've got to waffle for a bit more. How are you doing? How's your mum? She was great last night. Anyway, there it is, the blue Skoda Octavia vRS that I think I ordered from Skoda UK back in January. I've got it for 6 months. It's a long-term test car that us journalists get to use, and I kind of wanted a car that's exciting-ish but very practical and very useful for day-to-day family living. And I drove the regular Octavia last year, almost a year ago, and I liked how easy it was to live with. And this, to be honest, is just as good, but obviously it's the fast one, or a reasonably fast one. So I'm going to spin the camera around, take you for a walk around, maybe go for a bit of a drive, and during that drive I'll talk about the channel and what's coming up and all that kind of stuff. No jazzy intro, let's just get on with it. Insert copyright free hip hop music here. Here it is. This isn't going to be a full review of this. I'll do that in a couple of months' time before it goes back. But yeah, as I said, I've had this for 3 months now, and it just give you some facts off the top of my head. The Octavia vRS starts from about £33,530 in the UK if you want a 2-litre petrol one, which this is. I'll spec this one up to £37,500. And I asked people on Drive Tribe what I should get in terms of colour and gearbox, and I've gone for the classic race blue. It's just, for me, it's an iconic VRS colour. And actually, weirdly, the first car I ever drove after passing my test was a Mark II Octavia VRS in this colour. So yeah, I've kind of gone full circle. This is just a 2-litre petrol one, 245 horsepower, and the people of Drive Tribe said I should get an automatic gearbox, so it's got the automatic gearbox. Other options on it that you have to go for, really. It's got the dynamic dampers, which are about 900 quid. It's got, well, it's got a weird option. It's got a reversing camera, which isn't that weird, but when you order the reversing camera, which is in the filth, as you can see, I've not got it cleaned because the queue at the car wash was about an hour when I just went there. When you get the reversing camera, you also get sweeping indicators, which kind of look like the Audi ones. They do that, which is very exciting on a Skoda. I've also got blind spot assist on the inside of the mirrors. I'm not going to be able to show you, but it's the usual bit that lights up on the inside of the mirrors. And that's pretty much it on the outside. I'll talk you through some of the interior options. But I quite like this new VRS. I've kind of got used to the new Octavia's droopy snoot. The droopy nose, I think, kind of arcs towards the ground, and I kind of took a while to get used to it, but I quite like it. It is, as I've said, absolutely filthy. I need to go and get it cleaned, but I couldn't be asked to sit there for an hour when I could be filming and then going to KFC. So anyway, here we go. Yes, it's covered in flies and stuff. I've done about 3,500 miles in the 3 months that I've had it, and it is proving to be a really, really good, comfortable mile muncher. I'll show you the interior, but it is shamefully dirty, as you can see. Toddler fingerprints all down the driver's door. That's the inside. It's basically just a standard VRS with some red bits and these sporty seats with red trimmings and diamonds on them, and so many Greg's crumbs. Hopefully you can see that, and you get to look at a nice digital dashboard. I quite like that it's got Alcantara across the dash. That really does make it feel posh than any Skoda I've ever had before. I've got the upgraded Canton sound system, which is pretty good. I know this isn't going to be a full review, but I want to talk about something that isn't great with this car, to be honest, and that's the infotainment system. All right, let's just fire it up to show you the infotainment system, and let's see if it's going to work, because that is a thing. Sometimes the infotainment system will just not work, and it will say it's updating, and it will sit there for, well, forever, 40 minutes or so, and it just won't let you play the radio, use your sat nav, or anything. Right, it looks like we're in, and that's okay. And when it's working, it is pretty good. But I've had this problem where the speakers keep popping and crackling, and then after about 20 minutes of the sound kind of intermittently cutting out and popping, it will just cut out the sound entirely, and then you have to switch sources. World War II podcasts. highly recommended. That is We Have Ways of Making You Talk by Al Murray and James Holland. But yeah, the sound will cut out and then you have to switch between the radio and your CarPlay to get the sound to come back, which isn't ideal. But yeah, the biggest bugbear is sometimes, it's usually once you've been driving, parked, got out 5 minutes, then got back in, it will just say installing updates. No, loading settings, that's it. And it'll be a loading screen and it will not go away, and you can't use the sat-nav, radio, CarPlay or anything for the time it's doing that. And I've left it 45 minutes and it's not ever finished. So you have to reboot it. Now, I think the cause of this is this pesky little SOS button in the ceiling, which my camera hates so much it's not going to focus on it. Hang on. There we are. So this, you flip this down, you press that, and it calls some emergency centre to say, oh God, I've hit a deer or an old lady or something like that. What happens occasionally is I'll get an error message in the dashboard saying that that SOS button is buggered, go to the workshop. And it's then that will usually crash on the infotainment system. Now what you can do, I found this on a Skoda forum, is when it is doing that loading settings thing, you can press this and then press that, which will do nothing, but then if you hold the power button and hard reboot that, it will eventually come back to life. Doing a hard reset doesn't fix it. So yeah, I love this car. It is comfortable, it is quick enough, it is pretty economical, and it's massively spacious. But this just breaks, and I know I bang on about the Volkswagen Group infotainment system, but this one just crashes all the time, which is really quite annoying. Other little niggles, when you press the mode button or the climate button to switch to these menus, they don't go away. You have to press the button again to get rid of it. So to switch driving modes, you have to press that, and then you have to tap on the screen and then press it again to get rid of it. You can't just keep pressing the physical button to cycle between modes, and if you leave it on this screen, it does not go away. You have to press that again. And that's exactly the same with the climate control buttons. Very annoying, very boring to talk about, sorry. Right, let's talk about the stuff I really like about this car, and to be honest, a lot of it is down to how much shit you can fit in the boot. It is absolutely cavernous. So I've got 2 buggies in there at the moment, including the massive monstrosity bugaboo chameleon. That is the Audi A8 of buggies. It is huge, and that's my little Mazda MX-5 buggy there. All my bags, all my stuff, and I've still got room to spare. I could live in there. It's absolutely huge, and obviously you've got a parcel shelf so you can hide it away if you want. And that just makes living with this car such a doddle if you've got kids. I don't think I've ever managed to fill it, but yeah, the back seats are pretty spacious as well. So with 2 kiddie seats in here, they're not too jammed into the seats or anything like that. And toddler can't quite reach the seat in front to kick the hell out of it, which is nice. But anyway, not a review of this car. That is just my kind of biggest niggle and the biggest thing I love about it. I will be doing a full review of this car in the coming months, and stay tuned for that because it will hopefully be a bit cleaner by then, a bit less covered in flies. But the short review for now is, apart from the infotainment system, which is just buggered, this is a really, really good car. Skoda's really nailed it for just living with it, and it's fun to drive quickly. Right, we're gonna hop in and go for a pootle now. It's not gonna be about the car from now on, so if you are interested in the rest of this car, switch off now, because I'm just gonna talk about my YouTube channel now. That's how to keep people interested in the video, isn't it? I'm really good at this. Right, see you in a second on a GoPro. The first thing you notice when you pull away is that it's got a fake engine noise that sounds like a Subaru Impreza from the 1990s. But we're not talking about the car, are we? We're talking about YouTube and YouTube-y things and cars coming the other way. I'm just going to go up here. Bit of off-roading. Thank you, madam. Yeah, YouTube. Being really busy. I know I did a video a couple of months ago saying, oh my God, I need to stop doing this. I'm enjoying it again. It's really good fun. It's going to be a little bit quiet for the next week and a bit because I'm going on holiday. And there are videos that are coming up which I can talk about, but I can't put out yet. So the world is opening up and getting back to normal. So international car launches are a thing. On Monday, which well, it's Friday today, so in a couple of days, I will be getting back on a plane and going to Sicily to drive the Bentley Continental GT Speed. I've already driven it on track. Going to be driving on the roads of Italy, which will be entertaining because if you've ever driven in Italy, it's like sticking your head into a barrel of knives in terms of driving. It is just a bit insane. So being a massive British GT car, I can't see anything going wrong there. So that'll be fun. And after that, the week after that, I'm going to Germany, to Berchtesgaden, which is a beautiful place in the Bavarian Alps, in the bottom of Germany, where between 1933 and 1945, you literally had to be a Nazi to live there. And I'm not sure BMW's really thought this through, because I'm a massive history nerd, well, World War II nerd, and the hotel we're staying at is built on what used to be Hermann Goering's house. And I'm not sure they think anyone knows that, but I do. So well done, BMW. I promise not to do my intro on Hitler's driveway, which is still there. I don't think BMW would ever talk to me again if I did that. But anyway, cat's out the bag. That is driving the new iX and the i4, both of which look pretty cool. So some electric BMWs. And then I've got lots of cars coming in. New Mercedes S-Class, that is coming in a couple of weeks. And the V8 Defender. Basically, I've got to plan all this stuff 2-3 months in advance, because these cars are really popular with real journalists who actually get views on their stuff. So I kind of work in a couple of months in advance, and stuff will arrive at my house, and then I'll go and do videos on it. But there's loads of stuff coming, but as I said, it's going to be a little bit of a lull in the next week and a half, because I'm going to be sunning my testicles on a beach in Norfolk and hopefully not getting arrested while doing so. But yeah, YouTube is keeping me busy. The day job is also keeping me busy running Drive Tribe. And yeah, thank you ever so much for subscribing, because I still do really appreciate all the people that watch my videos. And at the moment, it seems that anything I do on a Korean car gets 1 million views compared to anything else. So this video will bomb because it's not a car review, and I've not put car review in the title. I've probably called it something lame like channel catch up and all the problems with my Skoda. So in the YouTube algorithm, this will get basically 200 views if I'm lucky. Whereas if this was a Kia or a Hyundai, I would get about 11 million views, and it'll pay for my daughter's nursery for the next 2 hours, which is really good for me, at least. Yeah, doing the YouTube thing is a bit weird, having to learn what is liked by the internet. And to be honest, my channel seems to be attracting lots of people that like EVs as well as the Korean stuff. And yeah, that seems to be what wins. Now, obviously, I'm interested in other cars that aren't electric, so I'll keep doing the performance stuff, the interesting stuff, the fancy German stuff, basically anything I fancy driving. That's kind of how I organise this channel. I drive the things I want to, because I don't have a boss, which is frankly where I want to get to in life, make this a career, so I can just organise my own life and not get hit by a fucking massive lorry. But yes, I've had a few questions, and I said I was going to do a Q&A video, but no one really asked me any Qs, so I'm going to leave that until I get to 10,000 subscribers, if I ever get to 10,000 subscribers. Hit subscribe. One person did ask this morning though, why do you talk like that? I think he means my voice. He said, is that your real voice? Unfortunately, it is my real voice. I know it's a bit plummy and I sound like a bit of a twat, but I've grown to live with it. I'm from Essex, which you might find hard to believe if you live in the UK. But yeah, born and bred in Essex, which is a county in England known for people that don't sound like me. It's gone really dark, sorry. Most people in Essex are like, "All right, geezer, how's it going? Blah, 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 you slag." Which I guess I don't sound like. My parents just brought me up to speak proper, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, what else can I tell you about YouTube? Obviously, I've got my motorbike channel as well. Go and subscribe to that. I've mentioned that. Again, I haven't touched that for a couple of weeks because I've been too busy with work, and motorbikes are kind of my second priority. And I just did a video of the Honda Goldwing, which I've thought about putting on this channel because it's basically a car. It's got 1.8 litre flat six, and it has got a reverse and all sorts of nonsense. It is a brilliant thing. Go and check that out. And I am trying to get around to organising a walk around of James May's motorbike collection, but he's really busy, and he's just announced that he's sodding off to America to go and do another one of those travel shows, Our Man in America. So I should probably go rather than talking to the camera. So yeah, fingers crossed I'll do lots more motorbike stuff. I've booked some Ducatis, Triumphs in. I'm going on a Yamaha press launch, which will see me riding on a racetrack for the first time on a press launch, which is going to be absolutely terrifying because I'm going to be surrounded by journalists who are racers, and there's going to be me waddling around in ill-fitting leather. One Skoda driver letting another Skoda driver out. Mr. Van, go fuck yourself. So yes, channel is going well. I'm loving YouTube life. I'm really liking replying to all your comments, especially the abusive ones and the ones where you correct me on my facts, because let's be honest, I make mistakes in most of my videos, but that is just part of doing it off the cuff. I could script things. I could be more professional with my camera shootingness, but I can't be bothered, frankly. And there's already enough po-faced fact listing YouTube channels about cars out there. The whole reason I started this, because I'm a journalist, a car journalist, but I think car journalists tend to make really dull videos. And at the other end, you've got influencers who make really over-happy, saccharine, everything is great about this car videos. And I thought there must be a middle ground where I can be myself, where I can, you know, criticize cars fairly without going into the depths of, oh, this car's awful because it's got the wrong tyres on it, that kind of depth. So I kind of wanted to find somewhere in the middle, and that is kind of my guiding vision, if I had one, for this channel, is to not be boring, but to not be an influencer, oh, everything's great, look, the sun shines out of my bum. That said, I'm going to try and do a behind the scenes of a car launch video on this Bentley launch, because we're flying to Sicily. And I think it's going to look ridiculous at the hotels that they put us up in, the food we eat, the wine we drink. And everyone thinks that that will kind of influence us in our opinions on cars. And that's just nonsense. Like, all the proper journalists have been doing this for 5-10 years, and you very quickly get blind to all that stuff. Like, they could put me up in a Premier Inn and give me a pizza buffet, and I'd review the car in exactly the same way. And I think all journalists are the same. So that's all nonsense. Anyway, that's what's coming up. That was a very random bit of waffle. I'm sorry if it was boring. And thank you ever so much for watching. I do actually mean that, despite saying it in a sarcastic voice. Thank you for watching. I look forward to reading all your comments, especially Mad, Aussie, Flaming Hedgehog, and the rest of you British guys who all seem to live in the same town as me. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Like, comment, subscribe.